You guys were really cool today, so let's not do a semicircle. We can probably layer it all that try to fit inside. I think close to 12. Let's scoot forward even more. Camera's up here, you'll be safe. You're just gonna do it on time.
I am so sick.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's go here and show. And left to right. Up and down. Good, hands out in front, bend those wrists back. Arms in, bend the wrists down. Good morning, Bruce. Good, bring those arms in, make fists, big circles.
What are the next 10 on my calendar?
What's that?
The next 10 on my calendar.
Switch directions, don't worry, head sales. Yeah, there's such a thing.
I know.
What's that? again. Palms up. Bring them towards the face. Scoot through, step down. Scoot, extend. He gets a little crazy. He was out late last night because he came to watch Keegan play baseball. Yeah. So you're not waiting past his bedtime. It was a late game. He didn't leave until 10 o'clock. It was past his bedtime. 8:20.
Yeah.
Reach those shoulder blades. Round it back out. But he was there to see us really squeak out a win 10-0.
Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Yeah.
Remember the line drive and Keaton had second inning? Pretty good.
He's a good little player. Arms extended out to the side. High low. You're going to reach those fingers towards each other. Back out to the other side. Try to bring those arms as high as you can or they won't bend behind. If you leave your elbow down, you're never going to get that shoulder function. All the way up. And down. All the way up. It's less tightening on time. What?
I heard something about titles. Less.
Might have been frightening. Good, relax those arms. We're going to take one arm, we're going to shrug up towards our ear. Roll that shoulder forward. Roll it back, bring it down. Up, and over, back, and down.
Someone's gotta do it and it won't be me.
Gene, the hike series got posted this week.
Oh, I was looking for it. I didn't find it.
Got posted last night, so look up. Camp Leader training.
Okay,
This Camp Leader will find
great.
and switch arms.
Come on, baby, don't hold back. Come on, baby, let me do some damage. Come on, baby, don't hold back. Do some damage, do some damage. This door ain't gonna close unless it's rain. Won't go up in
Big
flames.
arm
We
circles.
strike the matches. Someone's gotta do it. It won't be me. When you say it's over, make me believe that you mean it, that you're leaving. 'Cause I'm gonna need a little help.
And switch direction.
Gonna break yourself. Gonna break yourself.
Good. All right, from here. Lock those hips in, and we're going to rotate our shoulders over our hips. Just rotating at the rib cage. Keep those hips nice and stable.
Great. Is it?
Thanks. So hands on hip. Hip circle. I asked Alexa, I said, play something G with one. And this
See,
just
who
started
knows me?
coming out. So Yes, I'm gonna wait for you. 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 Switch directions of those hip circles. Good. All right. Go ahead and grab. Good shot. Then we're going to go nice and wide, shoulder outside of our shoulders. Keep those arms locked out. We're going to bring them up, back as far as our arms will let us go. And forward again. Try to keep them locked out. Try not to get up there and start to bend. Nice and straight and back. Come back. Yes, I'm gonna wait for you. 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 Yes, I'm gonna wait. Good, let's stop at the top. Draw those arms down, keeping it pulled back tight. Bring it up. Twist. Twist. Bring it down. Bring it up. Side and side. Bring it down. Bring it up. Twist. Your hips can go with this. Side. Bring it down. Bring it up. Side. As you go side, punch that high hand up to open those ribs. Up and over. Down. Up. Twist. Twist. Down. Up. Side. Side. Couple more. Down. Up. Twist. Again, down. Up and side. Good. Pick a hand. Bring the strap behind the head. Go ahead and let the low hand go. So we're holding right behind our neck. Slide that hand back in right at the low back. Then take that strap and pull down until your high arm gets tucked up by your head. I don't mean to brag, Gene, but we're kind of like Adidas twins today, so maybe, you know, cool kids in the room.
Everybody's going shopping.
You should. You absolutely should. Good. Take the high hand, pull the low arm up and under the shoulder blade as far as it'll go. And then you can bring that over your shoulder. Posture up nice and tall. Make sure that front shoulder is snug and tight. And bring that high hand back up. And just up and down through that range of motion, which is Good. We're going to let go of the bottom hand. Replace the top hand. And switch. Regrab at the bottom. Start with that. Pull it down and strap to the arms. Now go up in the air.
Every time you come
Take the high
around,
hand.
you know
Pull them up under.
every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world is cold. And tonight had something wonderful. The bad habits lead to late nights and get alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose for you. So do my bad habits lead to white nights?
Bring that hand up.
And I know I lose control of the things that I say. I was looking for a way out now. Understand. Something happens after two. It's true. It's true. My bad habits lead to you. Ooh. My bad habits lead to you. Ooh.
Good. Go ahead and release that bottom strap again and bring it up.
Bad habits lead to you.
We're going to re-grab low behind the back.
Every pure intention ends when the good
And then
times.
you're going to pull your shoulder blades back. Punch your arms down, pop that rib cage up. And then pull the strap away from the body.
Started under neon lights and then it
When
all.
you're back in this stretch, work on deep breaths into your ribs.
I only
Open up the chest and rib cage more.
bad habits lead to late nights and then alone.
Is everybody excited? They're starting to put asphalt down up there. Very excited.
Swimming, this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to
Still wasn't bad this morning, but it was like 2 minutes.
do. My bad habits
So
lead
wait.
to white
Yeah.
nights.
So they're trying hard to make it
And
flow
I
better.
know I lose control of things that I say. I was looking for a way.
From this position, we're going to sit back into our hips. Far back, if you get those hips, get your back flat. And then lift up as much as your shoulders will let you.
Bad habits lead to you. Ooh. We took a long ride back to the far right. Bad habits lead to late nights and then alone. Conversations with a stranger.
Bring those hips back underneath.
Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't.
And you set your
I
strap.
got nothing left to lose or use or do. My bad habits lead to white eyes.
We're going to grab your chair. You're going to put your chair on your side. So the back of the chair is on your side.
It's true, my bad habits lead to you.
I was sailing down here 2 years ago, and my water bottle popped out of my pack. And as I'm going down, it showed me how much faster it took off down the mountain. That was an adventure catch up. So we're going to stand just far enough away from the chair, we can't touch it. Then we're going to take the outside leg first away from the chair and step over. Now we should be able to touch our chair. Keep your back straight. Push those hips back again. as far back as you can sit. You can reach down, but you can also use that chair for balance. You can sit deeper into your hip. Sandy, I posted the hike yesterday, along with a informational meeting next Wednesday night.
Okay. I'm doing training hikes to get ready here.
I know.
I want to go on training hikes to get ready for hikes.
Yes. Yes, no, there is.
I want to know about that too. Oh, this is going to be really hot.
Bring that hip back underneath and say upright. And then I want you to just let your body weight lean over onto that chair. Straighten up. Don't let your hips sit back. We want to be directly underneath ourselves here. And then we're going to let the hip weight drop towards the chair. So shift your body weight into that hip. Being nice and straight. If you let your hips push back, no stretch. They must be tucked up and under. And then we drop down. Because I sat down and mapped out an alternate to mirror the same day so people can do even. Alternate. So you can do even. You don't have to do one. You can do together. Of course, the other one will involve sliding down to the left side. Miss that. So you're going to do it next time.
He's drinking out of it. He's drinking. Watch now.
Moderate? No. They're above. So the last hike of the series, the rating was to 4 as a 6. Seriously. And then the others are probably 4s. What's that, the zeros? There's another hike group that does 0s, 1s, and 2s. This hike does 3 4s. If we're using the first scale. So from here, we're going to sit back a little bit, take our free hand out on the chair, pick up the back leg. Grab a hold of our shin or our shoe or whatever we get a hold of, and then pop up into that quad stretch. Well, there's 2 people in this room that just did one of these hikes on Monday, so you don't have to roll your eyes. And they got off the mountain smiling, going, 4. I want 4. So
She had the biggest smile.
she sure did.
Well, it
Because
was
Jean got there
a
with
sense
this
of accomplishment.
mental wall in front of her, and instead of scaling it, she kind of Superman right over it and was ready to just fly over the next one. Yeah.
Oh, well, it just holds my mind.
Good. We're going to take that leg, release it, bring it around to the front, and pick it up above our knee. Grab a hold of the shin again. I'm turning, don't turn. Straighten your back though. And sit back into your hip and drop that hip down. Don't push forward to the knee. Sit back and down. Push all your weight back. And then sink into that hip until you feel it in the cross-legged hip joint. Beautiful. top is going to sit slightly out in front. Bend it to the side. Foot back upright, and we're going to swing our chair to our other side. Just that reach. And step the outside foot over. Push back into those hips. Put those hips back up and under. Lean out onto the chair. Tuck those hips up. Fully sink our hip into the chair. So I spent $135, and I now have a 16-foot high-definition outdoor movie screen for my backyard and house for $135. I can play Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Max, any streaming service I have. So they have these mini high-def mini projectors that range anywhere from $80 to $200. I just kept digging until I found a high-rated one. It was $100. It was $35 for an Amazon high-def Fire Stick. Set up last night. I was watching a 12-foot movie on my ceiling because of the high. I was outside last night. But movie night at our house. What about traffic? I don't usually have a lot of traffic in my backyard.
Well, you do. You have a street. No, you have a.
I'm an alley.
Okay.
Not a lot going on at 10 o'clock at night in my neighborhood. This projector is a lumen-based projector, so it does not work in daylight. You can't see anything. It needs to be dark. Reach down. Grab that back leg. Pick it up.
Well, you live near the river?
Yes. Oh, so you're talking about like beavers and duck traffic?
Yes.
Those guys are obnoxious at night.
Yeah, really. I'm talking about frogs.
No, frogs are great neighbors. They take care of the insects. So no, we like the frog.
You're very loud.
I'm still like 200 yards
Kids.
from the river, so I'm safe from massive frog overload.
Okay. What about crickets?
I mean, if the frogs were loud, I would just croak.
Oh! Where's the drum?
I'm too close to burning. I'm too close to burning. It's osmosis of jokes.
You heard about the frog
Oh, nice.
that double parked his car in Seattle?
You got towed?
He got towed.
Good, release that quad. Swing it around to the front. Pick it up above the knee. Grab a hold of that shin. Straighten your back out before you push your hips back. It's pushing. And sit back into it. It's like I've been working out all week with you guys or something. So this particular projector I ordered came with a 100-inch screen you can hang. But my neighbor's wall just happens to be this like really soft yellow, so it is perfect. I have a white sheet if I wanted to go bigger. But yeah, you can get all kinds of screens. They're not expensive either.
It's amazing the technology. You actually see that on the
Awesome, right? You got about 3 more weeks of awesome. Bring that hip back forward. Foot comes down slightly in front. And angle it to the side. Oh. We saw them starting to peek out on the sides. So you're going to get a little fuller and then back up. You don't have to go on a long hike, guys. Drive up to one of the parks, and they're out everywhere. You can just have a picnic and enjoy the beautiful scene. Sunrise is such a glowing park to see the mountain from the picnic table and enjoy the meadow, big meadows of flowers. And you can get huckleberry ice cream on your way home. From UD Willie's. I won't drop names, but there's a resident here at Hikewood separately. He always has a cooler. So when the hike's over, there's 2 cold beers sitting in there.
Oh,
The hike, waiting. It's pretty nice.
Yes, it is.
They weren't on our hike.
Oh,
We
is
just
that
did
right?
Monday,
Okay,
so
so
it's not any of those people.
I wouldn't know.
They should be on the next ones, but they weren't on that one. Good. Let's relax that foot. I want you to turn and face your chair now. So you're facing the back of that chair. Put both hands on. You're going to walk back slightly until you're almost extended, but not fully. And then with that last extension, you're just going to continue to push your hips and out your feet. Drop your head down through those straight arms.
Wherever we go, I'll make it worth your while. 'Cause every minute, every hour, every day I wanna make it.
Bring your hips back forward, and then you're going to take that chair and flip it around so the seat's facing you. The seat is facing you. We're going to put one foot up in the chair. If you're worried about balance, slide your chair close to the wall. You can put your hand on it. That is A-OK. This is not balance class. This is stretch class. So I would rather you kept your balance and got into the stretch. Once your foot's up, toe pointing at the ceiling, straighten your posture. Tilt the hip back. You know you're tilting your hip back, your foot's going to get more upright. Once that's happening, as that hip's tilted back, push your chest forward, not down, until that hamstring gets nice and tight. Saying the first 2 hikes are no brainer. Absolutely doable and doable.
You said that about furrows.
And you loved it. What are you saying? Why are you playing the victim in this group right now when you were like tapping right along? She's not playing the victim. She's like, you darn dude, I kicked that mountain's butt.
That's true. I was small.
It won't be long.
I know it's fabulous. Thank you.
See? I'll see you Tuesday.
I will.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to remember. from this stretch, where's your dentist? I'll meet you there. Pull your foot back towards you while you're sitting in this stretch. This is like a kind of a downy little goose feather just tickling the back of your calf and knee, right? Isn't that how it feels when you pull your foot back? Just a little ha ha ha. Mine feels more like somebody sawing it with a bread knife, but you know. Yeah. Good. Go ahead and relax and sit yourself back up. Bottom foot. If you're feeling comfortable and balanced, you're just going to pivot it out. If you're not, take your foot down, turn sideways, and put it back up. Either's fine. We'll get there. So, just like last one, we're going to make sure we're postured up tall. We're going to tilt our hips slightly back behind us. This time, the leg and hip that are up on the chair, right at that hip joint, I want you to lean your whole upper body towards the legs of the chair until you feel taut. Inside of your thigh this time. Yeah, not taut. These are taut.
Those out there only to be free. But love is you. You're only I need. Your love is wasted on me.
Bring your hips back up underneath. You can take that foot down and turn the face one more time. We're still on the same leg. This time I want you to just step up onto that chair. And then use the arm or the back of the chair to hold on to. Take a peek down at your back foot. Kick that heel out. At least straight, but you can even exaggerate it out even wider. And then we're going to soften the knee and sit down or upright. Like Captain Morgan, without the run. From here, tuck your hip up and under while you're sitting there, and start to straighten that bottom leg out. It doesn't have to get straight, just start to get tight on that long leg hip flexor right here.
There's a song about me. Never hold on what I need. Your love is wasted on me.
What was that? Nice.
Slight height drop.
Fit. You're in a pocket, man. We got straps you can lay down. Hands on the chair. Pick those hips up. You're going to push them behind until the leg just starts to straighten and get tight. The knee should still be bent. From that position, push your arms forward and then continue to push back. And the hips, the leg won't go straight, but the hamstring should get nice and tight. We're going to pretend we're trying to get it straight, but the hamstring's going to tell us no. And we're okay with that. We're going to listen to it and just enjoy the stretch. From here, bring those hips back underneath you. Just go ahead and sit up and off your chair. You guys don't need to do anything. I'm just going to shift so I can stay forward. So we're going to pick the other leg up in our chair now, starting with that initial stretch. Foot up, toe in the air. And then look around the room, and some of you try not to have your foot turned sideways. If you want a better balance, I'll line my toes up on each leg of the chair and I make sure to keep one foot towards the outside of the chair and the other one wide. That gives me a little left to right balance. But if your foot turns open, your hips turn open. If your hips turn open, you don't get the hamstring. So stay closed off, keep your hips squared, straighten out the spine, tilt the hips back, bring that chest forward until we get a nice stretch in our hamstring again. From this position, pull that foot back towards you like in the stretch. Don't lean back, stay forward. So we move that stretch down the Achilles line. You should feel it cross the knee down into that calf area while you're pulling that foot. Now, while you're doing that, double check that your hips haven't opened. Reclose them while you're stretching. That should add a little left back in there. Little bow on it. And relax. If you need to step down, step down. Otherwise, we're pivoting in our chair, so we're opened up. Just reset. Straighten the spine. Tilt the hips. Lean your torso towards that leg. Right down the inside of the thigh. Bring those hips back up and under. Turn to face one more time. Step onto your chair. Reach down and grab those handles. Kick that heel out. Soften the back knee so I can sit down and upright. No pressure. Pressure down to the hips. Body weight down to the hips. And then tuck those hips up and under. Push that heel back behind until that hip flexor starts to get tight. If you don't tuck your hips, you won't feel the hip flexor. So you really got to get that part. Rhonda, you doing next class too?
Yes.
It's a big and 12-station class. You're ready for it.
Yeah. Oh, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready.
I don't want to hear from you. This might be too hard.
Probably.
Like the hikes, you know.
Yeah. Actually, it's because of the language.
I saw that, by the way. I was wondering why I didn't get text this morning, and then I saw the picture from your dinner. I was like, oh, that's why. Post-hike celebration.
It's all about balance.
How was it? Was it good?
It was delicious. It was incredible.
I gotta say, they look like they're getting a little bit fancier at their plate and everything. Pick those hips up, push them back until that hamstring starts to tighten. Slide your weight over it. Who asked where you're supposed to do it? Hamstring. So it should be on the leg that's in the chair, right there. And if it's not quite tight, just pretend like you're starting to straighten that leg out. So to push your knee kind of down towards the floor until it gets tight. Not too tight. Tight and taut. Good. Let's go ahead and push our hips forward so we can sit up and step off. Bruce, it's your time, buddy. Oh, yeah. Let's turn that chair around and have a seat. Okay, before we start into our stretch, real talk. Todd's gone next Friday. Boo. There we go. But because I care about you, there's so many of you taking stretch, I'm still going to teach this class broadcast from Portland. That's where I'll be. And the lodge is willing to let you come in and they'll pull it up on the big TV, not that big TV, but another big TV. And you guys can join me for stretch class if you like. If you want to do that, stay registered for the class so they know you're coming in. If you all cancel out, then they won't set up the TV. You still do it from home if you want to, because it'll be broadcast through the MTL. But if you want the room, the chairs, the straps, everything in front of here, come on in. They'll have the Club Connect set up. I'll be right there. You'll be able to see me. And they'll even set it up where you can talk to me if you want. You know, that's really what becomes the conversation. Let's cross ankle over knee. True, Barney. I can see your eyes rolling even through your glasses. Sit up nice and tall. Grab a hold of that shin. Pull your chest through, not down. Don't go down towards your shin. Pretend like you're coming towards me. Like, when we go down, we start to round our spine, which has nothing to do with the stretch whatsoever. When we go forward with a straight back, that really gets into the stretch much better. So, if you notice, I don't think I've given you one stretch today where it involved your back being rounded. We get into all these muscles a lot better when our spine is nice and straight, because it works to the hip better and it doesn't give us a false sense of movement. Now we're going to sit back a little bit to take some of the pressure off that. We're going to turn our torso to face the knee that's up. Whether you'd like to use your hands, or I like to actually scoop and use my forearm, doesn't matter, but you're going to take that whole leg and pull it up into your chest. Once you have that, so I'm holding my right leg, I'm going to continue to pull and turn to my right as I'm pulling. So I'm going to let my spine rotate to the right while I pull that leg up into my torso. This is transferring. We are just in piriformis. This is moving out to our glute medius and mandibular as we do this stretch. Gene, you got great taste in music. I've enjoyed this. Relax that leg. And then we're going to uncross. Cross the other side. Hands on the shin. Sit up as tall as you can. Pull your torso up and through. Not down. And my hiking tandem will be joining us on the hikes too. We both agreed to do the hikes. Because we all know you had more fun hiking than me.
Especially with brother and
She asked if they can move in September 4th to their new apartment. So her three roommates and one good new friend are driving here from Minnesota. They're going to stay for like 4 days with us, and then they're driving her back to school with them. It'll be a nice adventure, right?
Oh, yes.
She already has plans to take to the ocean, to the mountains, to Seattle, and give them the special things that she loves that they don't have in Minnesota. Sit back, turn towards that knee, scoop it up into your chest. See, you turn that torso. She really does have a nice little friend. You guys meet them.
Y'all play baseball.
One of her roommates is on the team for baseball, another roommate's a soccer player, and the third roommate is just a school. I don't even think I said that with that kind of inflection. She was a high school athlete. She's not. She's
Is Ashley picked a major yet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Watch this. Hey, Sandy, what's Ashley's name?
Oh, wow.
And she hiked a good chunk of time with Chris and Jerry Chris. Chris is a physical therapist. Neither of them talked to each other. We had no clue. I saw Chris in the gym on Tuesday. I was like, you know, my daughter's pre-PT. And she's like, what? Relax that leg, uncross it. Widen them out, sit near the edge of your chair. With those feet a little wider. We're going to lean our body weight out onto our forearms. Now, some of you prefer to do a double push while leaning forward, and I am absolutely okay with that. You can do that one. I am going to take one hand while I'm leaning on the other, and I'm going to put it on the inside of my knee. And I'm going to push my knee as far away as it'll go, which isn't quite enough to get my arm locked. So to get it locked, I'm going to let my torso push the opposite way until it's locked down. Now I'm going to shift my body weight forward, so I have weight coming off the chair, and drop that shoulder down. Should give me great leverage to the inside of my thigh, stretching those adductor muscles again. If you stay back in your seat, you may not be getting that stretch. You really do have to shift weight forward, almost like you're going to somersault out of your chair, which Hepsi always does at the end of class. If you want to watch, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Good. From here, we're going to take that pressure back. Re-put the forearm down. Switch sides. Inside. Push your knee away. Then the body to straighten the arm out. Shift your weight forward. Rock it down the shoulder joint.
I said I'm on the greater. Blinded to the strength.
G, do you know the insurance?
Right?
Do you know the insurance?
Yeah.
Insurance. They're from Duluth. She taught at Ashley's school for 13 years. So they actually arranged a visit. We went there for a recruiting trip to meet with the head of their PT program. So we had to sit down. They have a doctoral program for PT there too. So it was pretty neat. Small, right here, body weight. So really just move from there. Bring that shoulder back. From here, I'm going to bring my feet in just a little bit. Here's your first one. You have permission to round that back. We're going to let ourselves ooze down through our legs. And those of you that are flexible enough, you can actually walk your hands underneath your chair, even possibly grabbing the legs and pulling yourself into even more stretch. Don't overdo it if you have a tender low back.
To bring us all back home. Return the great unknown.
Bring those hands back in between the feet. Push up, round your shoulder blades, arc your back up. Tuck your chin up to your chest as you do that. Opening up your upper back.
All back home. Return the great unknown. For that freedom we lost.
gently roll yourself back upright. Good. We're going to stand back up out of our chair. You want to be in front of it, behind it, whichever. Just give yourself some room. Two hands up. And then higher. And then higher. Feel your shoulder blades raised, your ribs open up. And we're going to lean to one side. And as we're leaning, we're going to let that top shoulder fall through. Push your hips gently back as you circle under. Then start to push your hips back forward as you come all the way up, pulling those arms back up and overhead. And then we're going to switch directions. Lean, 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 lean. Let that shoulder fall forward. Push your hips back. Roll through. Start to push your hip forward. Lift that arm back up overhead. And back the way we came. And if this feels really good and you've got it down, you can scoop and scoop. If you need to work on your form, take it nice and slow. Make sure you stay out of your low back. Using your hips to create this motion. Backwards, forwards. One more time back. And stop at the top of those hands nice and high again. We're going to go down. Sit back in those hips. We're going to scoop and pull all the air into our lungs. Lift that rib cage nice and high. Hold the breath so the ribs open. Then we're going to push all that air out. We're going to take that deep breath again, lifting our arms up and leaning back. Exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. Push it out. Left hand, inhale and open. Rotate, twist. Exhale, close. Inhale, right. Bring it on up. Exhale. Inhale up. And back. Let's do that again. Exhale down. Inhale up. Push it out. Inhale left. Rotate to the spine. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. One more time up. Big breath. Lean into that stomach. Open it up. And breathe it out. Shake it. Shimmy it. Rattle it. Roll it. You're all done. How you feel? Take a somersault time. 2.